I don't remember what exactly what was the first video game ever played, but I do remember the two that had the most impact on me when I was like 12, 13 years old was Quest for Glory 1 and King's Quest. And, sorry, there's 3 games. Quest for Glory 1, King's Quest 6, and Space Quest 4? We want the Latex Babes of Vestros. I think it was Space Quest 4. Sierra Games, right? Oh, and my uncle had Zach McCracken the Alien Mindbenders, which was a LucasArts game. So that was like my introduction, like being 12 years old or whatever. I had played games before that, but those are the ones that I remember being like, there was a few summers of like being 12, 13 years old, 14 years old. Well, those were the big games I played. And I remember, like, do you guys remember, if you're my age or older, if you remember like Babbage's? Babbage's used to be a store. Like, you'd go to the store, you'd go to the mall with your mom. Like, mom, let me go to Babbage's, please. And you'd go into Babbage's, and there would be this big, there'd be these big cardboard boxes that had the games that you want with discs inside. And you might only get 1 or 2, maybe 3 big releases every year, right? Because that was it. Like, video games were not a big deal. Now we get thousands of video games per month. So when I see these little trolly little comments of people who are like, it doesn't have 60 frames per second, loading screens, I'm like, whatever. You don't know how good you have it when we have thousands of games at our disposal on a daily basis. Because when I grew up, there was nothing, especially if you go back to like my single digit years. I was born in 1980. There were games being made in the early 80s, yes, but it was all like text based, Zork and the early Ultima games and Pong, and what was the one where you was on the Atari, where you were like Tarzan and you jumped across the pits? Pitfall was it called? I think it was called Pitfall. And like Gattaca and all that stuff, man. I don't know. People got the wrong shit to get upset about. Lord Valor says if it was just 1 to 4 player co-op would be awesome. Starfield couch co-op would be interesting. I wouldn't mind the I wouldn't mind like an Elder Scrolls Online treatment. I wouldn't. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that for me. Do this have shells? ¿Tienes cáscaras o no? ¿Cómo esas cáscaras? Guácala, no. Oh no, these are just the seeds, Christy. Hang on, guys. Chris gave me a pumpkin seed, and I was gonna eat them because I like pumpkin seeds, but those pumpkin seeds, the shells are too small, and it's I'm not gonna do that on stream, everybody, because it was literally, remember that scene from Ace Ventura when Jim Carrey's like eating the sunflower seeds and he's like spitting them on the desk? It would have been that. Like, I could feel it, like the shell just came apart in my mouth, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be spitting like 30 pieces of shell out of this for this this one seed. So yeah, we're not gonna eat pumpkin seeds on stream. Akazar says, I just shared your Starfall video on my Fallout server. I apologize in advance for the New Vegas fans. Night Tilt says Starfield's soundtrack is probably the most underrated in the past 5 years. It's really good. Cyberpunk's is better. I like the Cyberpunk soundtrack way better. There's, not to sidetrack too much here, the amount of effort that the CD Projekt Red team put into getting all those artists from around the world to create original tracks for the radio stations in Cyberpunk 2077, no other game has ever done that. It's fucking brilliant. Like, it is absolutely amazing, the music in Cyberpunk. This is a great composition for Starfield. Like, the orchestral score is here. You can also hear some themes from Fallout. So if you're playing Fallout 4 like I was recently, there are some thematic things that you can kind of hear and go, oh, that sounds a little bit like Starfield, because it is, these are the same people that work, with Bethesda over and over. Profound says I loved King's Quest. Police Quest was one of my favorite games, says Valinar. Commander Keen as well. Bushido. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was text-based. Pitfall, it was the right one. Oregon Trail, I do remember Oregon Trail. Dysentery, man. What's up, Kirik? Kirik says, just watched your Starfield video. I only played the game when it came out, looking forward to getting back all the new changes. The new changes are really, really, really good. Really, really good. Just saying. Well, can you see this really quick, Chris? Just from where you're sitting. Desde la mañana. Y este es hace 2 días. Entonces, por el momento, Starfield es como Baldur's Gate 3. Y este lanza en octubre. Estoy haciendo por la segunda vez. I was showing Chris some of the traffic on YouTube, guys. The analytics are pretty interesting. It's really interesting to me because I'm on a second playthrough of Starfield, and I'm seeing traffic numbers that it's like I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 like 6 months ago. Like, I don't even think my numbers for the first time I played Starfield were as good as they are right now for the second playthrough. It's been very interesting. Of course, my channel is much bigger now. I think I only had probably... God, I probably only had like... 10,000. I probably only had like 10,000 followers when I first played Starfield, and now we've got, I think we're getting close to 30. So like that's natural. The audience is bigger now. But also I think, and I do think this is true. I think it's because I'm one of the few people streaming Starfield right now, because not a lot of people. Most people are out there playing like V Rising and other stuff. So it helps being one of the only people who's actively streaming Starfield right now. And I'm saying positive things about Starfield, which is, I know the
nice job.
The popular thing to do is to shit all over Starfield.
That's the Rock, Ranger Central. Not a bad bar too.
A mirror wolf at the
5-inch floppies, baby. Well, I don't know about you, my 5-incher's never floppy.
Yeah.
Insert dirty dad joke here. I do think it says I think there is something to be said for, when you're saying something positive about something as opposed to only ever shitting on it.
Sam Cole finally decides to darken our doorstep.
By the way, guys, I am going to be sneaking some more Fallout 4 episodes in soon. I won't be streaming any Fallout 4, but I am going to be sneaking some Fallout 4 episodes in because I really want to keep my playthrough going. Right now I'm doing Hellblade 2, but that's only going to be about 6 to 8 hours of gameplay in total, so a few days.
I want you to say the words about what's more important to you than family.
Okay, this was a mistake.
The only mistake I'm seeing here is you. Bringing your Constellation lackey here instead of my granddaughter.
What a douche.
Come to help Sam loot his ancestry? You're not getting those maps. Full stop.
Your companions speak on your behalf.
I got just as much right to those maps as anyone else in this family.
That's exactly right, Sam. We all share Solomon's legacy. Only some of us are around to live up to it, and some of us aren't.
All right, that's enough. Come on, let's you and I talk. In private.
Welcome home, Sam. Make your visit short, okay? It's what you do.
I must confess, the hum of a grav drive makes me feel alive. Give me a sec. All right, let's talk options.
He mentioned his granddad, or maybe Cora could help.
No. I mean, this is no place for her, okay? The less time she spends with Jacob, the better.
We need those maps, Sam. She could help.
Damn it. Fine. We'll go get her. If there's any other options, I'd appreciate doing those first.
Yeah, let's go get the granddaughter. We probably have to go back to the ship for that, right?
Back.
Is she on the ship? What? No, she's fine.
I'm here for you, my love.
Aw. Do you need a kiss, Sarah?
Well, well. Back for more, eh? Ah, I miss talking to you already.
Let's get out there and do something new today, shall we?
Oh, was she out? There she is. Yeah, the new travel point. I did a whole video on the new surface maps. I don't think a lot of people realize this, but it goes beyond. If you haven't watched the video yet, I should probably link it in chat. But I did launch a video yesterday called The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to the New Surface Maps. And one of the things I don't think a lot of people realize is it's not just the POIs that got changed and this difference. Because now, when you go into the surface map now, previously, and people get confused by this. If you scroll out, it still shows the green, or it still shows the text. I need to stop. Hang on a second. When you scroll out, it still shows the same square grid as before. And a lot of people are assuming that that means that you're exploring grid by grid. And previously the way this worked was if you ran to the edge of the grid, you would get to the edge of the grid and it would stop your character and you could not move anymore. And you would then need to take off and land somewhere else and you would get a new grid. That's no longer the case. Now, it moves with you. So your POI is always at the center of the grid, of this square grid. The square grid now just represents the rendered space for your character. So in terms of the game streaming its assets to you and your character so that you can look around you without having an infinite loading screen, an infinite load distance, it loads whatever's within this grid, and that's the loading of the assets for your gameplay. So now what it does is I can run, and I showed this in the other video. If I chose to run over here, I can't do it yet because I don't have this as an unlocked POI. If I were to run over there, you would be able to track in real time that my POI, my character is always at the center of this grid. And once I get over here, this would become the new center of the grid. And so the shift, that square grid has now shifted over here. It didn't do that before. Before it was, this is your grid, you can explore everything within this grid, but if you want to explore outside of this grid, you need to take off, you're going to go land, and you're going to generate a new grid. It's going to procedurally generate a new grid. It doesn't do that anymore. There are still some procedural generated elements at play. I haven't fully tested out all the stuff, but one of the big things is like, if you're on a planet with known POIs, you can like run from here all the way over to the other POI, and that square grid is going to change with you as you move along, and you'll uncover other POIs as you're running along. It works exactly the way people wanted it to work at launch, but it does it in a different way than, say, No Man's Sky, because it's not generating the whole planet for you to be seen at one time. It's generating a grid square for you that's your visible space, and then as you move, you get the rest of it. It's basically rolling out in front of you as you run along. It's a change that no one is talking about, and a lot of people who just shit all over the original maps in Starfield don't want to recognize that it's changed. They're still like, oh, it's just, it needs to generate the whole planet like No Man's Sky, and if it doesn't do it like No Man's Sky, then it's not good enough. And it's like, it's doing the same thing, it's just doing it in a different way because of the way assets are loaded in. Exactly, Night Tilt. That's why POIs keep coming up now, because now when you're exploring, it's procedurally generating those POIs in front of you as you run. And in some cases, if you're running towards a known, like, I don't know if we have this, let me look at this planet real quick. If I can give you a better example of this. I think I would need to look at the planet map for this to make sense. So if we went here, and we went to the star map, here. I don't think there's any other location. Here we go, down here. So if I were to go down here to the science outpost as an example, if I can pan the map around the right here, this is going to be a completely different square grid. Now, if there are land masses connecting this science outpost square grid and the Aquila City square grid, I could literally run from the science outpost to Aquila City, which I could not do before. Beforehand, it would only allow you to explore within that square grid. And you would go square grid by square grid by square grid. But now you could literally run from the science outpost to Aquila City. As long as there's land to get there, it might take you 20 hours of real time. But you could totally do it now, which is going to be really interesting to see how, I think a lot of people who were bitching and moaning about things before, once the land vehicles come and they can actually see this a little more evident than the way it was before, I think their opinions will change. It's a very good change, yes. It's just a different way of doing things. Anyway, I think the land vehicles are going to change a lot of how people see the exploration of planets.
Hey there. Need to make a quick getaway, or is this we're coming back
Thank
for the
you,
better
Chris,
weapons kind
for
of
helping
thing?
with that today. Cora, we need your help with the co-estate.
Really?
Over my strong objections.
Works for me. Let's go.
She's such a happy kid. It's really cool. She like just took off. She's like, "Woo! I'm going to Grandpa's house."
Got the freights are coming soon. No time to talk.
What? There's my girl. Look how big you've grown.
You should see my right hook now. I bet I could knock you flat on your butt, old man.
Nice.
That's the spirit. Only your ancestor Solomon could be here to see how bright the co-future looked.
Can we move this along?
But don't listen to him, my darling. You should stay here with me during your visit. Co-estate's a much better place than some musty old starship.
Oh, can I, Dad?
Depends on if he's going to give us the
No,
maps.
She was just popping in to say hi. That's it.
You want those maps, Sam? Don't think I don't see what you're up to. She'll be safe here while you're doing whatever it is you're gonna do.
Fine. Hand them over.
Have what you wanted. Now off with you.
All right.
Don't worry about me. Hanging out at the estate is great.
All right. Let's see if we can find the empty nest. All right, let me think. The way I heard it, the readings he was getting were normal at first, then they bottomed out. And no creature, alien or otherwise, would dare step inside. There.
If we're about to run
Found
across the planet to a POI, you'll be able to see this in
Oh,
real time,
boy.
everybody. So stick with me, because I
That's
can
a
show you how
problem.
this works. All right, we got it. Let's go.
Well, you ain't wrong.
I apologize for clearing my
But
throat,
let's take a
everybody.
look at what we're up against.
Got some
First,
frogginess
it's in the
today.
middle of the frontier, which we already expected. No problem. But the empty nest is a cave right in the middle of Shaw Gang territory. Same outlaws who held up Galbank.
Bringing outlaws to justice sounds like fine work.
Well, just remember, it's about the artifact, not them. Hurting bad guys puts a smile on your face, that's a bonus. Let's get to that cave.
All right, so we are going to be going into the wilderness. Alright, so let's bring up our map. We're heading out in this direction. So,
Ashtar is sometimes spotted by the farms. That's why we
the
only
empty
use
nest
robots
is
outside
way
the
over
walls.
there. So, how are we getting out of town? Alright, so let's take a look at this on the surface map. And we are going all the way over here. So, if you look at this right now, the center of my map is Aquila, because that's where I'm at. And we're going to run over here, and you're going to see how this then becomes the center of the map once we get over there. And this edge over here, where it stops just to the right of this unknown, that's going to be pushed over further to the right because we're moving in that direction. So it's in real time now. It's fucking brilliant. And yet no one's talking about it because all anyone wants to do is be like, no, Starfield sucks. Alright, here we go. Let's get out of here. You guys have never had Cora help before? Huh. I've never attempted to have her do that. Like the last time I was running a persuasion character, so it was really easy to just persuade. What do we got over here, by the way?
What do we got?
Savannah Sweetbush. Sounds like my ex-girlfriend's name. Something doesn't sound good. Sounds like there's something chasing us. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Did he really go there? I did. What are these critters, man? Nickel. Need more of it. Are these meat eaters? Alright, see that? That over there, everybody? That's a new POI that just popped up. As we got close enough to it. That one right there, that is a new POI that appeared because we were moving in this direction. Because the map is now unfolding in front of us. Okay. So now we can open up the map. And you'll notice that the new center of the map is now this right here, right? And if we were to pan out, remember how this was all the way at the edge of the map before? This POI, it was right at the edge. The edge now has expanded. I'm looking at the wrong. The edge has now expanded in that direction. And because we were running over here, we unlocked a new POI as we got closer. So if I keep running in any given direction, you'll continue to unfold POIs as you go. You can fast travel in caves. You can fast travel to things where you've already discovered them. So the ones that are filled in with white, like over here, you can actually fast travel to, but when there's black background, you cannot. Yes, while it's unfolding in one direction, it's folding up behind you. Essentially, it's the way to look at that. There's another turret somewhere. Rifle for the win. There we go.
Never mess with a code.
You may have to be a little bit closer. Pop your head up.
Real cute.
Mess with me and my friend? Ah. Get here!
Oh, somebody's running.
Me and my friend here are gonna teach you manners.
Why do I have lung damage going on right now? Whatever. Let's get rid of it. If I have anything to clear it. Please tell me I have... Oh, there we go. Check.
Never wise to be in my way.
Time to move up and flank. Oh my god! This is why I use aim assist, because I suck. That turret's toast. Oh, turret!
Take the good stuff. Rest.
Dude, I have a lung affliction again. Oops, wrong thing. Aid. Let's go ahead and drink and eat, and I need to clear the lung affliction injector. I have lung damage again. What the hell is giving us lung damage right now, guys? Because I'm burning through all of my injectors. Like, I keep getting lung damage. Is it because of the CO2? Because I'm like sneaking And I'm like, probably because I'm using the scope and it's like burning all of my, that's probably what it is. I think I'm burning all of my CO2